So my journey into UC Gundam continues. Last week, my video on the MS team dropped. I'm recording this just before that comes out. So, bit of context, it's not been too long since I watched that. And because I couldn't find MS Igloo anywhere, I didn't look too hard, but I couldn't find it, so yeah. I decided to skip it and move on to OOAE War in the Pocket, which in the comments a lot of you seem to speak kind of highly of. And I do get why. It was a pretty good watch overall. Very short, obviously only 6 episodes, which is fine to be honest. I do think that the compactness of the story kind of helps. And I'll explain why a little bit later on. Although that might just be me being like really crackpot. But anyway, so overall, I did enjoy watching it. It was pretty good. I just blanked for a second. I've literally just finished watching the last episode, like, as I'm recording this. So, give me a minute. I haven't really processed much. But, to be honest, other than being like, yeah, it's good, I don't have too strongly of an opinion on it. The writing's very good, I'll give it that. In terms of, like, a storytelling perspective, it is very, very good. But at the same time, you know, you don't need to watch it. It doesn't feel necessary, and a lot of you have said that as well, so I get it. So I'm not like shocked by that, but it doesn't feel like, you know, nothing here is going to have any weight. Although what I do like is the prototype suit, the RX-78 NT, obviously the NT standing for new type. I've seen some model kits here and there, because I've built my own Gunpla, so you know, been looking into that, and I feel it looks like the NT is a prototype for the new. I might be crazy, but that's what it looks like, at least to me. It looks like a prototype for the new, based on like the color scheme and like the wrist-mounted like gun gimmick. If I'm right, tell me, because that'd be kind of gas. If it is, that's really cool. If I'm wrong, don't matter. But yeah, I thought that was cool. That it, you know, just that whole. I don't know. I don't know what my point is here, other than it's really cool that, you know, the prototype for what I assume is a suit that's going to show up later on. So thumbs up on integrating it somewhat into the overall UC timeline, other than, you know, location and stuff. In fact, it takes place inside 6. I also found really interesting. We get to see somewhat of the situation of a neutral colony, and as expected, the Federation aren't exactly, you know, using the neutral colony to develop and test and collect data for this prototype, so that Zeon shouldn't be able to know about it and get in the way, which they do, which is what leads to the plot happening. And when we get introduced to Bernie, regular old guy, regular soldier, standard guy. That's one thing that I find that the spin-offs do really well, at least of the ones that I've seen, the UC spin-offs, is they really establish that, yeah, the soldiers, other than like, you know, most of the soldiers, well, obviously most of the soldiers are regular schmucks, but, you know, even people that get involved in stuff that we see as viewers are just regular ass people. They're not all special, which obviously, if the whole, you know, if every single soldier on both sides was special, it'd be stupid. But especially the message that Bernie gives right at the end, you know, which I feel like the spin-offs do push as well, is this whole, yeah, soldiers on both sides, we're just normal ass people, which is very true in real life as well. It's the way it is. You know, the people fighting on both sides are just the same. You know, they're both fighting for the cause that they believe is right, and it's the people at the top that, well, let's not get into politics here, shall we? I know it's Gundam, and it's hard not to, but, well, we won't dabble in that. But, yeah, I think the reason why I don't have too strong an opinion on it is I really like characters and character-driven stories. Obviously, UC Gundam, it's not really a character-driven story, at least not so far. And this being a spin-off is not very character-driven. It feels like it's just a nice little quaint, compact story that just obviously needs characters in it because no shit. But it's a plot-driven story, not a character-driven story, which obviously I have no problem with. But personally, I prefer character-driven stories. I don't know why that's relevant to this, just like my opinion of it. But yeah, I think that's why I don't feel too strong about it. But I do acknowledge it is very well written. You know, the loose ends are all tied up. The first episode, what happens at the beginning, is then relevant at the end, with, you know, the Bernie's Zaku that he abandons, you know, because he gets shot down. That then coming back and being relevant, you know, very good. bookending in the story. Very, very good. Writing-wise. As for the events, you know, they're cool. I guess. Although it is Al, the little kid, Jesus Christ. Yikes. He goes through some stuff. Poor guy. He also just kind of like... You gotta feel a little bit uncomfortable seeing the stuff that he goes through. Like, you know, he's a kid. He doesn't know any better. And obviously, you know, you got these soldiers, some of the scummier ones, are part of the same unit as Bernie, taking advantage of this kid's naivety. It's shitty. It's really shitty. And it does, well, the story does a really good job of making, at least I felt, I was like, yeah, this is kind of fucked up, huh? Ugh. Yeah, this is, not great. Not great at all. But yeah. On the whole, this isn't going to be a very long review because it's not a very long series. So there's not really a whole lot to mention. But yeah, you get to see, you know, the lives of people living in Colony 6, and it's, well, pretty standard shit. They just go to school, do jobs, you know, like normal people. So yeah, I don't know. I really don't have a whole lot to say on War in the Pocket other than it's just really well written. Like, that's all there is to it. It's just quality. I don't have anything to go, yeah, this was like really fucking good. This is like highlight, yeah. Because it's just all really consistently well written. You know what I mean? I'm doing a really bad job of like explaining it, but yeah. I enjoyed it, but I don't have like really strong feelings or anything that I can go, yeah, this bit here, this was the coolest shit ever, you know? It's just a really nice, quaint story that's really, really well written and really well tied together, is how I'll put it. It would have been really cool if Side 6 had been nuked at the end, but also, you know, it's probably a good thing that it wasn't. God. But it would have been interesting, because that would have obviously had some lasting ramifications for the rest of UC. But yeah, anyway, tell me your thoughts on War in the Pocket, and if I feel like, you know, I'm just being an absolute brainlet for not having, you know, a stronger opinion on it. But yeah, with that out of the way, I've been Animosity, you've been you, and also, actually, I should probably say what I'm watching next. I believe it's Thunderbolt, but by the time this goes up, I'm probably going to have already started watching whatever's next. I think it's Thunderbolt. I will double check. But yeah, if it's not, well, it's a bit late to tell me in the comments. But yeah, anyway, with that out of the way, I've been Animosity, you've been you, and I hope you join next time for another video. Ta-ta. For now.